Hello again, this is Morgan from ABA Visualized, and we are doing another live to make a visual BIP live together. So if you haven't been able to catch these yet, we created a YouTube channel where we're having each week we're recording a visual live that we're making together, and then we're putting the videos on our YouTube channel. So you can go and watch tips all about how to make behavior plans. So yesterday I asked a question on my story asking if you had any questions about BIPs. So for those that are here joining in live, hello, and feel free to ask questions in the comment section because this is going to be interactive. So yesterday I asked if anyone had any suggestions for a scenario for us to make a BIP for today or any questions. And I did get a lot of recommendations or suggestions, and quite a few came up with asking for tips around creating behavior plans for adults. So I was thinking about making a behavior plan for an older client or learner today. I haven't decided yet on the challenging behavior, so feel free to make some recommendations in the chat. What challenging behavior should we do for our BIP today? I did get a question or a recommendation around how to make a behavior plan for skill building, things like toilet training or building tacting, which is vocabulary skills. So I wanted to give a quick reminder before jumping in today on why do we have behavior plans. So a behavior plan is a really carefully curated collection of behavior strategies that are aimed to help reduce a challenging behavior. And we do that by teaching new skills. We do that by adding preventative strategies and making sure that the whole team, the family, the teachers, all the service providers, all know how to effectively, compassionately, and consistently support the learner when they're having challenging behaviors, as well as celebrate those moments of success. So things that are like teaching new skills, that wouldn't be for a BIP. A behavior plan is really regarding a challenging behavior. And in our resources section on BIP Visualized, we have a whole pretty lengthy approachable guide to FBAs, and in there are 6 questions to guide if you need a behavior plan or not. Okay. So I saw some suggestions coming in. I'm going to read them. We are going to make a behavior plan together for an adult. And so I see here some suggestions, SIB, making threats to staff. I did also get some recommendations to do that strategy or do strategies for that behavior as well. And then I also had some suggestions coming in around making behavior plans for eloping or running away. So I'll let you guys choose. Let's pick between making threats and running away, an adult. And I'm gonna go ahead and flip it around and show you guys BIP Visualized, and we'll get started making this. All right, so I have here, I'm in BIP Visualized, creating a new behavior plan. Okay, I'm seeing somebody put threats. So let's go ahead, threats, okay. It's decided. So here you can put behavior overview, and I can put here target behavior threats, and then that's where I could write my whole operational definition describing exactly what that looks like. Then we can put the function. So what function do we want for this behavior? I'll let you choose. Attention, escape, access, or sensory. Any occurrence of vocally making a threat, and then I will put here examples. I will give some specific examples toward another person, a threat to cause harm toward another person, and then examples. Okay, so let's see. Escape, attention, sensory. Oh, you guys have quite a few different ones. So I see 2 votes for attention. So we're going to do attention. And then baseline data, let's say that this is happening 4 times a day. Okay, so back to behavior plan. And the title, we're just going to put, this is for I'm going to put the person's name who recommended this. BIP for threats. Okay. when do we want to implement this behavior plan? So again, we're thinking about when do we want to really prioritize the targeting of our support, especially if we're thinking about for an adult learner. Maybe they're not constantly having other support from adults, either at home or schools or a transition program. So what times of the day are the most triggering for them or stressful for them, where these threats are most often occurring? And that's where we want to think about when do we want to make sure we are really proactively supporting them, or what situations are the most challenging for this learner. If I'm thinking about an adult services that I've worked on before, maybe it's things like engaging in really necessary activities, but maybe things they don't really want to, but that would be more like an escape function. So if you guys put attention function, what would be a situation like that when they're in a room with a particular person? Okay, so yeah, around when they are around specific non-preferred people. And then of course, if you want to make it even more individualized, you can list those names out here, or just talk with your team about that. Okay, so that could be just people that they have had a past history with, but they still need to be around them. Maybe they're roommates, or maybe they're coworkers, or other students if they're in college. Okay, so what replacement skill do we want to teach? And to get some ideas, I can always go to the search feature, teach. And these are the teaching strategies. Oh, choice mapping could be really interesting for an adult, because this is helping to teach decision making. So here we have a blank template as well in the scenario section, but here you would put a scenario, like let's actually use this one, that they're playing basketball with their teammates, and maybe one of these other teammates is a non-preferred person, and they often are getting in fights. So here we could really plan out with them and show them, here's the expectations and here's the rewards that you can earn, and then here's what happens when you engage in those unsafe behaviors. So really proactively teaching choices and those, what happens when they engage in those different behaviors, those choice pathways. I think that would be a really good teaching strategy for this adult. Okay, next we will do a preventative strategy. So if we know that there are some specific situations when they need to be in contact with specific people, but those situations, this learner is often engaging in threatening behavior toward them, how can we help prepare them for that situation? What preventative strategies can help us prepare? If you guys have been watching, you know I always pull in the building rapport strategy every time. So I'm pulling that one in. If we're going to be helping support them, even though they're an adult, we still need to make sure that we are taking time to have a positive relationship with our learners. Okay, let's see what other preventative strategies could be helpful. Definitely priming, since we know that there's a very specific upcoming triggering situation. So here, this is where I'm going to come in and I can edit. So prior to, and then let's just use that basketball example. So prior to activities involving specific non-preferred peers. And then here I can put like playing on the basketball team, if that's where they interact with that peer. Team will provide information or a reminder about the upcoming event. And then here you can describe how. So then this is where you're really thinking about how your learner wants to have that support. And with an adult, you might be able to even have them collaborate with you. Do they want you to give a verbal reminder? Do they want you to give a visual? Maybe you can even text them. Set up a text reminder by sending a text reminder. Something that could be very specific for them and their preferences. Okay. So now we know that we've been trying to teach them how to make better decisions. We've been priming them. We have building rapport. Maybe we could also, to give them a little bit more autonomy in this moment, maybe provide choices when they're playing basketball over, do they need to be around this, play on the same team as this other student, or play on a different team, or give choices in the task to make it not as stressful for them. Okay, so let's say that they are successful. They're playing basketball and they are using coping skills that we've been teaching, and they haven't engaged in any threatening behavior. So they're making those good decisions that we've been practicing. How do we want to reinforce them? While you're thinking of that, I'm actually going to add in one more strategy to the teaching. So here we're teaching them the importance of making those positive, good decisions, and then modeling. This is behavior skills training, the 4-step approach to actually teaching those skills, like for example, how to say stop or how to use self-regulation skills. So I'm going to add modeling in. We're doing 2 different teaching strategies here. And then reinforcement. What do we want to do for reinforcement for an adult? I'm scrolling through some different options. Oh, DRO would be a really good one for here. So on one of the other lives, somebody was asking for more clarification on differential reinforcement. So a DRO, this is where every specific amount of minutes the learner goes without engaging in threats. So if we said for every 1 hour, the learner goes without engaging in threats, then they earn a reward. And then of course the rewards are always individualized for whatever is meaningful to that person. So DRO could be a great choice for threats because we're saying that we just want them to not engage in that behavior. All right, and then what do we want to do when the threatening behavior occurs? How do we want to respond? Again, I'm going to come over here, I'm going to search for behavior management. Let's see. Rebuilding rapport would be a great one, especially if they're having threats against the peer. There could be a moment where you connect again with the learner and that peer and guide them through a meaningful conversation. And maybe the redirection strategy could be helpful. So we could redirect them to instead some of the other skills that we had been talking about here. So either redirecting them to use coping skills or redirect them to have better engagement with the peers. So I'm just going to come over and name that one redirection. Change the title there. And then I could go and edit all of the descriptions like you saw me doing earlier. You can come in here and fill in the blanks following the occurrence of threats and make any edits you want to individualize this. And then also, again, like I was saying, the rebuilding rapport. So that's it. We have the full behavior plan finished here. This one is for an adult learner who's engaging in threatening behavior. So we do have a few more strategies here, but that's because we're really focusing on teaching 2 different skills, having some more autonomy for them in learning how to make choices, but also giving choices, still having building rapport. Those are very essential strategies for many behavior plans. And then when I'm finished, I can share it. I can email this to the whole team, and I can download and print it out, or I can present it. Maybe I'm gonna teach the basketball coach, or maybe there's some other staff members helping him in these specific situations, and I can share this with them and go over the plan with them. Okay, any last questions on this? And thank you so much for joining in. This is another live of making a visual BIP on BIP Visualize. We'll be uploading this video so you can watch it and the other ones at any time. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again next week. Okay, bye.